Like that, we back, man. Please do your boy a favor, man. Hit that follow button, man. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button, the share button. If you know somebody who loves the wutang, somebody who loves Ghostface Killah, you know what I'm saying? You know somebody who loves books. You feel me? You know somebody who loves OG hip hop, 90s hip hop. Tap in with your boy, man. Share. All right. So check it out. So Ghostface Killah dropped a book and it's called The Rise of a Killer, My Life in the Wu-Tang. And one of the first things that I found interesting with the book is the chapter titles. You know what I'm saying? Uh he names each chapter after one of the classic records, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was pretty dope. Gave me a flashback to Kevin Garnett's book, which was that did an interesting thing with titles. Kevin Garnett's book was called pardon me, KG from A to Z. And so like every chapter is, you know what I'm saying, A, B, C, D, you know, and he has something interesting for all of those things. So I love when our people do some things. It's, you know, it's definitely going to be creative, and you never know which direction things are going to go, which is one of the beautiful things about these audio books. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to sit here and hurt our eyes if you are 49 like me. But anyway, we step over here to the book, you know what I'm saying? And we get something refreshing. So, you know, speaks about his childhood, you know what I'm saying? Growing up in Staten Island. Um, Pretty much a good kid until he until adolescence, you feel me? There's so many juicy things in there that we can't give you. We can't give you all of them, you feel me? Because there's a lot going on with once he started, you know, uh turning to adolescent, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things is that we can relate to some of these stories, man. If you grew up in poverty like Ghost did and like I did, you know what I'm saying, and being a big brother, having to go to the store with the food stamps, having to do all of these different things, you become like a I don't know, some type of you become someone who has to be older than he is. Specifically with him having the two brothers with muscular dystrophy, with him having to, you know what I'm saying, take care of them, you know what I'm saying, take them to do their business to the bathroom, have them put their pants up, all these different things on top of uh, just all of the other things that we go through, you know what I'm saying, growing up in poverty. You feel me? So I related to a lot of those things. And that's another reason why I like to share these types of books, you know what I'm saying, and try to encourage us to listen to them. You feel me? Because a lot of times, if you want to be an artist, just tap into some of these stories by these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: we always hear about how much better the book is than the movie. The book is better than the music sometimes too. Believe it or not, you feel me? So moving along, we can't get into so much because I'll be giving away the book, and there's some funny and interesting things that go on. But again, you know, when he starts to get into his adolescence, you know what I'm saying, and start witnessing different things and being in poverty, you start hustling, you start getting into all types of mischief and trouble, you know what I'm saying? And an interesting thing that he had with the book is that he let his best friend, his name is he let his man speak for a little bit, you feel me? And he was spitting off some interesting things, some of the different things that they've been through, you know what I'm saying? The hustling and all of the trouble and different things like that. Uh Led to Ghost, you know, hustling out of town here and there, you know what I'm saying, in DC, in which he got into some trouble. Um, Ohio, hustling out that way as well. You feel me? I'll tell you one of the interesting stories. He said you know, they tried to get this crackhead, and you know, he thought it'd be an easy little lick or what have you, but it didn't end up that way, and the crackhead, you know, squared up. It was tagging him with the jab. You know what I'm saying? He said, he said, he said the crackhead had a Tommy Hearns jab because it was wobbling him. You know what I'm saying? He said he had to take a knee, and it was hilarious, bro. But so they had to jump the man and all of that. But yo, that's just one of the stories I'll give you. But I won't give you so much of uh, uh in depth things with the things that they got into and whatnot. You feel me? So moving along, man, he ends up meeting up with some of the Wu Tang Clan members. You know what I'm saying? Around ninth, 10th grade, which was interesting because around that time, a lot of them, most of them, probably all of them, they dropped out. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So met them early on, and when he met RZA, he really took a liking to him and really, connected and bonded with him because he felt a good energy and a good positive vibe, a good positive spirit with him. And RZA was just always doing his music. And when he first met RZA, though, he was hustling still and all of that. So that was interesting. You feel me? But so he kept with RZA. They was into the karate movies and all that, and RZA was making his music. And Ghost, they both decided to, include all the guys and form the Wu Tang Clan. And the interesting thing is they all had to battle each other at like some contest, at some type of a talent show or something. You know what I'm saying? And they was all battling each other, and I can't tell you who won. I ain't gonna do all that, but you'd be surprised who won and how they won. You feel me? Tap into the book though, Rise of a Killer. So the Wu Tang forms, and he starts to get into all of the different things that went on with them trying to make it, and their travels and different things of that nature, and how it all kind of seemed like a blur because at that time you didn't have social media. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're just moving here, we're just moving there, we're just moving here, moving there. They don't know how the impact is really taking effect in real time. You know what I'm saying? So, and I thought that was interesting, and I'm like, dang, I could see how that can work. I could see how that happens specifically with that many people in the group. You know what I'm saying? I could imagine how difficult things were. To the fact, matter of fact, to the effect that when it was kicking off, he still was in the streets. You feel me? He was still moving them. He was still moving them things. And RZA told him that, bro, it's got to be this or that. You know what I'm saying? And then he finally got his act together, and you know what I'm saying, and kept it all on the music. You know what I mean? Another interesting thing. Uh, that's a beautiful piece in the book, man, is that he took this trip to Africa that really changed his life. Visited the country Benin. You know what I'm saying? Got exposed to different ways of how people was living over there, man, in poverty and stuff like that. And it really affected him, and he really, uh, stay connected with that community and look out for them and stuff like that. So I thought that was a beautiful thing right there. You feel me? Very heartwarming, beautiful piece in the book. You know what I'm saying? Another interesting thing. Well, around the time that we get the classic Cuban links, Ghost was having some mental health problems. You know what I'm saying? Mental health. He through that classic album, he was going through mental health issues where he's hearing voices and different things like that because the situation happened, I think, when he was in DC where he got shot. You know what I'm saying? He got shot in his neck. And I would get into that story. That's a crazy story right there, but we can't do that. Again, we can't give you everything. We're just going to give you a few juicy, uh, pieces of information. But again, mental health, man, he really struggled with mental health. He broke down, you know what I'm saying, how during that time he dealt with the mental health, right? On the Cuban Links record. So I find that sometimes when I think about it, you know what I'm saying? I always like Ray and Ghost, but sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? but it sounds good. You feel me? So I'm from the Midwest. Now, New York slang never really had me lost because again, I listen to so much New York music, and even the 5%er that the even their slang. I was around some 5%ers where I'm from. You feel me? So that didn't have me lost. But I swear, when they would do their thing, I'd be like, man, these dudes is too fly. I don't really know what they own, but it's dope. You feel me? So for me, that record, a lot of people have it really high like that. I kind of have most of the first round is kind of like a tie for me. You know what I'm saying? I love the Genius record. I love that record. I love the Iron Man record. I love Method Man record. Old Dirty is high up there for me. His first record. So, but yeah, I always was like, damn, I kind of felt funny that I didn't always know what they were talking about. And now that I learned that from Ghost on that album in particular, that he was having some mental issues, I don't know if that kind of balances that out. I don't know because he states some dope stuff on there, but as he was saying, someone close to him was like, "Man, why you own all this murder?" You know what I'm saying? Why you own all this murderous stuff? And I guess again that was part of that. But I just found it very interesting that he brought that up because, as he says, when things are talking to you in your head like that, you feel me? He says like, we had a photo shoot, and he right here next to some edge, and his brain just telling him to slide over there, jump off, slide off, jump off. You feel me? So different mental things like that being said in your brain. And if you don't get the proper help, a lot of people act like that. They act on it. You feel me? He said that at that time, he was just drinking heavy and then it would go away. And the only person that he'd really talked to about it was the RZA. And the RZA, being the scientist that he is, he said every time he talked with him about it, he would, give him some calm and some ease by breaking down the brain itself. You know what I'm saying? So, and other than that, his brothers would notice when he was making weird and different faces and stuff like that. So other than that, man, he'd worked really hard to, fight the demons, and he was drinking heavy. You know what I'm saying? So moving on, when it comes to his first album, he said he didn't like the space that he was in with that as well, because then he found out he had diabetes. You know what I'm saying? So he's dealing with diabetes. Then his best friend gets locked up. And, I guess I don't know that he mentioned the mental aspects so much then, but he just mentioned that he didn't really like the space that he was in for that record. You know what I'm saying? So I always thought that was interesting because I like several records off. I like several songs off that album. You know what I'm saying? I connected with several joints off of that. So for me, that one as well as the Supreme Clientele are my favorite too. You know what I'm saying? Again, I like some joints off that Ghost Dini, the Wizard joint as well. So moving along, man, you know, starts going through a lot of the ins and outs with the Wu-Tang. And if you've seen the Wu-Tang show on the Hulu, you know what I'm saying? You may have some basic knowledge on certain things like that went on with the group dynamic, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of this now, it all comes from his perspective. So I thought that was dope. Now moving on, man, we'll get to a place where things took a beautiful twist that I did not expect. You know what I'm saying? I got to admit, and that's one of the things I love with these books. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes as they go along and as you think you know them, you can kind of think where things are going to be and where you're going to have to make this. For me, I felt like I was going to have to make some type of a pivot and explain this, that, and the third. But where things got really, two things. First, let's get into that chapter 12, because from that chapter his manager speaks, and I thought that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So two places in the book he'll have is we get narration from two different people. And another thing, Ghost did not narrate the book. I wish he did, man. I wish he did. I wanted to hear his voice. You feel me? It's always dope when our artists narrate their books. I really love that, but this time it didn't happen. But I guess the guy, he still did a good job. So when his manager takes over and speaks about when he came aboard and how all the different opportunities and different things clicked for him, that was a beautiful thing to hear. You know what I'm saying? It was good to hear. You know what I'm saying? And finally, I got him a good manager, and the business just went up, up, and up. So it was a beautiful thing to hear that. You know what I'm saying? To hear him break down all of these different things. You know, with him being on point with his diabetes, being on point with keeping him away from trouble and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Did a great job, not missing shows, all of that type of good stuff. Really uh, took the business up, and that was a beautiful thing to hear. And another beautiful thing for me was the his spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? Things took a spiritual twist because I had always just known him to be of the 5% nation. You know what I'm saying? It's been in all of the music. You know what I'm saying, from the beginning. However, pardon me. During some of the recent interviews, I've heard him saying "Assalamu alaikum" a few, several times, but I don't. Sometimes you don't think much of that when it comes to some of the New York slash 5% type of people, because they use the word Islam pretty loosely within their doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So you feel like they have this uh, mixture of things because of that word. You know what I'm saying? So with me thinking that I was going to have to break that down, I actually didn't, because the beautiful thing is that he ends up taking his shahada and he becomes Muslim. You feel me? So, and I was like, wow, really? I didn't know that. I'm Muslim myself. You feel me? So that was a beautiful. I felt like that was a beautiful twist because I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. And then it seemed like from there, some of the things he spoke on, this one in particular, he was speaking on something that I swear to God is in me, line for line, 100%, just right through the heart, right? So he speaks on how when people pass away, everybody's, talking about happy heavenly this. I know they up looking down on me. Such and such is in heaven, this, that, and the third. He's like, nah, that's not where this. That's we don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? We believe that when someone passes, they are in a resting place. You know what I'm saying? Judgment Day is going to decide whether you are in heaven or hell. And while everybody's yelling happily, heavenly, this or that, you don't know how evil they was. You don't know what they was on when you wasn't around them. Just because that was your father, your brother, they are not in heaven. You know what I'm saying? They are resting. You feel me? And I was like, for me, I see this every day, all day. Every day, all day, I see people talking about happy, heavenly this. As soon as somebody died, they are in heaven, this, that, and the third. And for me, it makes me question, what do y'all believe? Because here's the thing, for us, angels are something different than humans. You don't die and become an angel. So I don't know if other faiths that happens, I don't know if they believe that happened. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where the thing that when people die, they are above looking at you. I don't know where this stuff comes from. You feel me? So I just was loving hearing this from him, because I'm like, man, you are speaking the words out of my mouth, out of my gut. You feel me? Every time I see all of the happily, heavenly, whatever, I cringe, because again, we don't know nothing. All we know is that we are resting until that day comes. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was magnificent. I found courage in that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be confrontational with people on their beliefs, but I just felt really good to hear. I felt very good to hear him speak on these things, and I felt like I gained strength through hearing him speak out loud what I keep silent, if that makes any sense. If that tangent makes any sense to any of you, you know what I'm saying? It really was a beautiful thing for me to hear. You know what I'm saying? And I pray for that brother, man. I pray that brother stay on his dean. You know what I'm saying? And continue to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And moving forward, man, he just speaks on trying to do right, trying to be successful on the day when it counts. You know what I'm saying? Which is Judgment Day. He has a very great um, spiritual energy. You know what I'm saying? With this dean, it's a beautiful thing to witness. And for if for nothing else, you know what I'm saying? I found that very heartwarming. You know what I'm saying? So again, the book took such a beautiful twist again with that, like that chapter 12 when that manager spoke, and then when it got to the spiritual side, because I thought I was going to have to sit up here and try to explain all the differences between 5% Islam and all of this and all of that, and I don't want to get into all of that because I don't want to really be I ain't no scholar. You feel me? I ain't no scholar on religion. I just know what I am and what I'm about. You feel me? So again, that was a beautiful thing. That concludes this episode, man. Thank you for tapping in with your boy LPs and books, man. Please hit that follow button, man. Please hit the subscribe button, man. Please hit the like button. Thank you for tapping in with your boy, man. LPs and books. Over and out, man. Peace.